What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. B-rad The Builder here, and in today's video we're going to be installing these NGK spark plugs in my 2021 MT07. I promise you it's not as daunting as it seems. The plastics are fairly easy to take off. We'll go really in depth in this video, plug gapping, torque specs, everything you need to know and everything you need to know about replacing your spark plugs on a 2021 and up Yamaha MT07. Let's get into the video. For your convenience, I've attached a list here of everything you're going to need, what everything looks like. First step is going to be to use your key and remove that rear passenger seat. Now with a 5mm Allen socket, you can go ahead and remove these two bolts behind the seat. Next, underneath the tank shroud, you're going to find 4 bolts, 2 that are dark and then 2 that are silver. They're both the same size, so use your 4mm Allen socket and go ahead and remove all 4 of those. Next, we can remove this black plastic piece. So you're just going to lift up on the bottom there. It'll pop out of the slots. And then we're going to swiftly move back, just like that. Now there's a little push pin here, just push that in with your 4mm Allen socket. It'll come right out. Now we can remove these 3 upper bolts here. They're all 4mm Allen sockets. And don't forget to replace that washer there that goes in that slot in the black piece. And then up front, by the bars, you can remove these 2 4mm Allen socket bolts. Make sure you don't lose those washers. Then right by the headlight there in the front fairing, you're going to find a Phillips head little plastic pin. You can just spin that counterclockwise, it'll pop out, and just pull that straight out. And then underneath here, in the point, there's going to be another push pin. Just go ahead and remove that with the 4mm Allen socket. On both sides of the bike, you're going to find a 4mm bolt here. Just go ahead and pull that out. Now we can pull the sides off. There's just 2 little grommets that these pins stick into. I'll show you here. Got one up front that goes into that one, and one behind that goes right there. And then up front, you're going to find 2 5mm Allen socket bolts, 1 on each side. Just go ahead and remove those. Underneath the tank, again, 2 5mm Allen socket bolts. Do that to both sides. Then in front of the tank, there's a 12mm socket bolt. Just go ahead and remove that long bolt. Then on the tank, you're going to find 2 vent lines. Just remove the clips and then gently pull the lines off. Now there's a little electrical plug here. Just go ahead and unplug that from the front of the tank. And you can lift the tank and move it to the slide. And we can remove this electrical plug underneath that operates the fuel pump. And then this little clip, just push that red up, and then both sides there's little crimps, so you just clamp those together and pull at the same time and come right off. And it does not matter if you have fuel in the tank or not, it will not leak. Now we can remove the plugs on the coil packs. Just go ahead and remove that on each one. Now we can remove the coil itself. Just pull straight up. You might have to move side to side to get it to loosen up first, and then just pull it out. It's kind of tricky to get it, fish it out of there, but just go straight up and then pull it out the side. Here's your 14mm socket. Inside I have some paper towel wadded up, which is going to hold the plug in there because I don't have a proper 14mm spark plug socket. So that's what we're going to do. It's a little workaround, works really well. Now we can go ahead and remove the plugs. And you're gonna go straight through the top. Kind of fish it through there, pull it out with your hands. Do the same to the other side, just go straight down, move the wires out of the way, right into the cylinder. Now we're going to be using NGK LMAR8A-9s, which is the factory spec plugs. And here's our gapping tool. You can get these at pretty much any auto parts store, usually right by the register. The manual shows the plug number there for your reference and the gap. So that's going to be 0.8 to 0.9 millimeter, or 0.031 to 0.035 inches, and a torque of 9.6 foot-pounds. So here's just showing the gapping in action. 0.035, just like the manual said. That one's good. Do the same to the other one. Now we're ready to reinstall. Go ahead and put your plug in the socket. Give it a good push if you're using the same method I'm doing with the wadded up rag inside the socket. Slowly fish it down into the cylinder. Once you get it threaded all the way in by hand, go ahead and torque it to 9.6 foot-pounds. Now we can reinstall the coil pack, so just feed it in sideways there, and then you'll push it up. It's kind of tricky, you just have to move some things around, but you'll be able to get it in there. And when you reinstall, just firmly push down on them, make sure they're all the way seated on top of the spark plugs, and you're making a good seal on top of the head to not allow any water or dust or debris to enter into the cylinder. You can go ahead and reinstall the electrical plug underneath the tank. And then again, install the fuel line. You're just going to make sure that red clip is pushed up. Push it on with squeezing both ends of the plug. And then go ahead and lock it on with the red clip. Now we can reinstall the vent lines underneath the tank. Go ahead and reinstall the plug on the front of the tank. Make sure that clips in good. And reinstall your 5mm Allen socket bolts to the back of the tank. Do this to both sides. And then up front, you'll find that 12mm bolt. Just put that back in. Just get it nice and snug. Go ahead and reinstall the front plastic piece here. Just make sure that rubber seal up around the gas cover or the cap seals good. Go ahead and reinstall your 5mm Allen socket bolts in the front here. Up top, you can go ahead and reinstall these 4mm Allen socket bolts, making sure that the washers are on there. You can reinstall the sides now. Just pay attention to the grommets and just push them in. Make sure you hear a good click. Do this to both sides. Now I can reinstall the 4mm Allen socket bolts to both sides of the bike as well. I can reinstall these two upper 4mm Allen socket bolts on either side of the plastics. Go ahead and reinstall your push pin here in the center. You reinstall the black plastic piece, just push it up and then push it down. Go ahead and reinstall the 4mm Allen socket bolts to the black on either side, and the two silver on the center piece there. Then we can go and reinstall the push pin underneath the front point there. And then up front, we can reinstall the Phillips head push pin. Reinstall the seat. Use your 5mm Allen socket. Go ahead and torque those down again. And then we can reinstall the passenger seat, and we are complete. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, and comment down below if you guys have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, see you guys in the next video.